Hello, boys. Today I shall discuss a poem named Asleep in the Valley, composed by Arthur Rimbaud. Arthur Rimbaud was a French poet. You know, war and love are most favorite things to the poets all over the world. A lot of poems composed on the basis of these two particular things. One is war, another is love. Between the two, war is a difficult one, and at this difficult period when the entire world is suffering from COVID-19, I will discuss about a poem based on war.
হাল্লা রাজার সেনা ও রে হাল্লা রাজার সেনা তোরা যুদ্ধ করে করবি কি তা বল।
It is an war poem. You know, most of the poets composed their poetry on war, and they had no direct experience on war. As a result, they prefer to glorify war. As for instance, we may recall our great epics, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and their Iliad, the Odyssey. But those who have direct experience, rather I say first-hand experience, when they take pain about this particular theme, they know about the futility of war. So, they tried to raise their protest against war. Rimbaud had first-hand experience of war, and he understood the futility of war. He was a soldier in Dutch colonial army in 1876. And he wrote this poem a year later when France was at war with Russia. Here is the poem. A small green valley where a slow stream flows and leaves long stands of silver on the bright grass. From the mountain tops stream the sun's rays. They fill the hollow full of light. A soldier, very young, lies open-mouthed, a pillow made of fern beneath his head. Asleep, stretched in the heavy undergrowth, pale in his warm green sun-soaked bed. His feet among the flowers, he sleeps. His smile is like an infant's, gentle without guile. Ah, nature, keep him warm, he make us cold. The humming insects don't disturb his rest. He sleeps in sunlight, one hand on his breast, at peace. In his sight, there are two red holes. Now, Bengali meaning of a few words. Valley means upottaka. Strands means line বা দাগ. Stream ছোট নদী. মাউন্টেন টপ পাহাড়ের চূড়া. হলো মিন্স ফাঁপা বা ফাঁকা. ওপেন মাউথ খোলা মুখ. বিনিথ নিচে. অ্যাসলিপ নিদ্রিত বা ঘুমন্ত. স্ট্রেসড ছড়িয়ে আছে. ইনফ্যান্টস কোলের শিশু. গাইল প্রিটেনশন বা ট্রিকারি অর্থাৎ ছল বা ভনিতা. হামিং গুনগুন শব্দ সাধারণত যা ইনসেক্ট বা পতঙ্গরা করে. এবং হোলস অর্থাৎ গর্ত. বুলেট উন্ডস এখানে দুটো বুলেটের গর্ত রেড কালার. The poem begins with the description of a small green valley where a slow stream flows beside the mountain top. The sun is up and the grass thus looks bright. The entire surrounding is mellowed by the sunlight. The reader is able to clearly visualize the scenario vivid, transparent, and beautiful. The second stanza opens up the soldier's presence. The soldier is described to be very young and he is asleep in utmost comfort, with his body stretched in heavy undergrowth and the fern under his head serving to be his pillow. However, what is a little surprising is against the bright background. His sun-soaked bed, the soldier is described to be pale, even though he is claimed to be young. The third stanza adds a pretty touch to the environment. The soldier has his feet stretched among the flowers. He is asleep with a smile upon his face, which is as innocent as that of an infant. The poet asks nature to keep him warm. The insects are humming amidst the flowers, but that does not disturb the soldier's sleep. He sleeps tranquilized, with one hand upon his breast. The last line brings the horror of death, the futility of war, the fearfulness, the sorrow, all in a go. The soldier had been shot, and thus there are 2 red holes on his side, marking his wounds.
প্রথম দেখা তরুণ লাশ চলছে ভেসে ভেসে দিন বদল করতে গিয়ে শহীদ হলো শেষে.
I have already told you, Rabo had served in the Dutch colonial army in 1876, and a year later he wrote this poem. The poem is written in Petrarchan sonnet form. The poem is gentle, though its course until the final touch is added in the last line. It is beautifully written in a crisp and modern style and is an absolute success from every perspective. Now, let us try to understand the poem through some question answers so that we may fully comprehend the actual meaning of the poem, and at the same time we may take preparation for exam. First question: where does the stream leave long stands of silver? The answer should be the slow stream leaves long stands of silver on the bright grass. Okay? On the bright grass, the stream leaves long stand of silver. Second question: in what manner does the soldier lie on the countryside? In what manner does the soldier lie on the countryside? The answer should be the soldier lies asleep in the countryside with one of his hands resting on his chest and open mouthed. Question number 3: where are the feet of the soldier? The answer: the feet of the soldier are lying among flowers in the valley. Similarly, we may take another question: what is the soldier's pillow made of? The answer should be the soldier's pillow is made of fern. Next, how is the bed of the dead soldier? The answer might be the bed of the dead soldier is warm, green, sun-soaked. Okay? Why does the poet ask nature to keep the soldier warm? Why does the poet ask nature to keep the soldier warm? The poet asks nature to keep the soldier warm so that he does not catch cold. The humming insects don't disturb his rest. Why? Why humming insects cannot disturb the rest of the soldier? The answer: the humming insects don't disturb the soldier's rest because actually he is dead. Because he is dead, he is enjoying his eternal sleep. So nobody or nothing can disturb his rest. Finally, we may take a serious question: what do the red holes in the poem Asleep in the Valley signify? The two red holes, that means two bullet marks. So the answer should be in a proper way. In the poem Asleep in the Valley, two red holes signify the marks of the bullet wounds of the dead soldier. Okay? In this way, through some short answer question answer type, we should take preparation for exam. Fine. Rimbaud has never used the word war in his poem, but to him, war is an organized butchery of young boys. Nothing is glorious in it. So we may tell that Rimbaud's Asleep in the Valley is a fine specimen of anti-war poem. Okay? Finally, we may recall two lines of Bob Dylan.
Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned. The answer, my friend, is a blow in the